This is a comment from the red shirt guy. Someone on the MMO Champion speculation thread who claims they previously leaked details about Legion is saying stuff about the expansion. I haven't checked their Legion claims, but everyone in the thread is taking them at least semi-seriously. They said the expansion has a new race and class, and that the race is reminiscent of Mists of Pandaria, and the class is reminiscent of Demon Hunters. That's good. I think Demon Hunters are a good class. Posters immediately assumed it's a race like MoP. I mean, it's a neutral race, but the Demon Hunter thing was less clear. They explained the class is like Demon Hunters because just like Demon Hunters stole the main ability from Demonology Warlocks and the whole spec had to be redesigned to accommodate them, this class does the same thing to Arcane Mages. Okay. That's interesting. What the fuck? And the class is even named after a specific arcane mage spell. Posters guessed Chronomancer and Time Walker, and the leaker said they were getting warmer. Finally, someone guessed the mage spell Evocation, and the leakers implied that they were correct. That would lead us to Evokers, which are a thing in WoW and so similar to arcane mages that it would fit the Demon Hunter comparison. But Evokers don't have much lore, and it just tends to be a name given to spellcasting mobs with vaguely mage and shaman themed spells. True. In conclusion, I just felt like sharing it since it's a somewhat novel leak method of having an active conversation with the posters instead. What do you guys think? Invoker? Fake? Well, we're going to find out in like 6 days, right? I mean, we'll see what happens. Listen, I don't really care. Like, if you want to bring something out like an Invoker, a ninja, like a samurai warrior, like, I don't care. Just bring something out and we'll see if it's good or not. That's it. I don't really give a shit. In my opinion, as I said, I think they should just make new specs for each class and not even make a new class. I think we already have too many new classes. What fantasy in the game is not fulfilled? You have like the caster fantasy, you have like the hunter fantasy, you have the survivalist fantasy, you have the warrior fantasy. There's a bard. That's actually a really good point. There is not a bard fantasy, and there's not a like an engineer fantasy either. A real necromancer, I feel like Unholy DK is pretty close, but you're kind of right about that. Pirate, we already have that with the outlaw rogue. We've already got a pirate. Outlaw rogues are pirates. That's about it. Cat girls, yeah, maybe. But I think bard or a tinker is probably one of the only things that like they don't really have in terms of a class fantasy that people enjoy. So I'd want to see them do something like that instead. Like an evoker, who gives a fuck? What's the difference between that and a mage? And I don't really know. I think they could just make something more unique. This was true in Shadowlands and BFA. Will the cycle continue? Announce next expansion and promise to listen to feedback. Players give constructive feedback about core systems. Disagree and promise to balance it all perfectly down the line. 1.x, X.1 I mean to say. Adjust according to popular demand. X.2, start adjusting it based off of feedback initially provided in alpha. X.3, fix the expansion. And then announce the new expansion and promise to listen to feedback. Players give the feedback, and then disagree and promise to balance it all perfectly down the line. And then point one, I see. Yep, I see. Okay, this makes a lot of sense. And, yeah, I think this is pretty much what we can expect to see happen. Absolutely. It's unfortunate, but I think that we should just all expect this. That's it. Yeah, read it again? No, I don't need to, okay? We're already somewhere into BFA at this point. It's not going to happen. And you're considering starting a, what's this, a fundraiser to develop your own MMO? Not really. I don't want to be a game developer. You know, I don't really give a shit that much about it. Like, maybe make a small game or something like that, but I don't really ever want to be a game developer. I like doing things, I like playing games. I don't really like making games or like being invested in them or doing anything like that. I guess I'm more passionate about like performing and like doing content and streaming and stuff like that than I am about actually making a game. Like, yeah, sure, I'd maybe like be involved with it, maybe in some ways, sure. But it actually, in terms of like actually investing myself and doing it, no, it's just too much, man. WoW is garbage. Final Fantasy XIV is for weebs. Lost Ark is pay to win. New World is dead. Oh, good. Oh, good. Oh, wow. Yep. Okay. All right. That sounds good. Yeah, that. See, we just got done doing that, actually. And as I'm about to make a video, neighbors, rev up those mowers. Bro, I was so pissed off about this. Like, I was actually malding so much about this shit. Yeah, I remember this very, very fucking well, man. Oh, Jesus. There's more of this again? An explosive allegation, one of the lawyers behind the Activision-Blizzard discrimination suit says California government Gavin Newsom is interfering to support Activision and that he abruptly fired her boss. She is resigning in protest, full scoop. Jen Wiper, chief counsel on Activision-Blizzard lawsuit, was fired last month. Melanie Proctor, assistant chief counsel, resigned in protest last week, accusing Newsom's office of mimicking the interests of Activision's counsel. Fate of the lawsuit is unclear. Yeah, I mean, this is what's going to happen. I mean, I don't think this is really a big surprise. I mean, maybe he has money invested in lawsuit in the lawsuit or in Activision-Blizzard, so it matters for him for that reason. I have no idea. Let me say this for you. Final Fantasy is trash, and it's true. Shut up. Oh my God. Do we have to put it on sub mode every single time that we want to talk about MMOs? Like, I don't know. Does this happen with other games? Like, whenever I compare, like, Fortnite and PUBG, or like, Fortnite and Apex, I can be like, okay, you know, Fortnite's got really good, it's got really good movement, it's really precise, it's got clean movement, and it's a very, very well-polished game. Apex has got even better movement, you know, with a really high scaling, and the weapons are fun to play, and then PUBG has, like, really great weapon ballistics, and just in general, like, more of an old-school, like, BR feel. And it's like, everybody is like, yeah, true. Yeah, that's pretty much how I feel about it. But whenever I say anything about any of these other games, I have a million fucking spurgs from that game's audience that are breathing down my neck trying to invalidate what I'm saying with broken logic. I don't understand it. I really don't. I cannot fucking get it, man. Yes, absolutely, man. Absolutely. You cultivated this chat? No, I did not. I absolutely did not. This is the same everywhere with MMOs. If it's the same with Josh's community, Josh Drive Hayes, it's the same thing with him. It's the same thing with Kira TV. It's the same thing with Preach. It's the same thing with every fucking community. So how is it my fault whenever it happens to everybody else? Breathe a sigh of relief, everyone. WoW is saved. The most important issues are being addressed. Bright future ahead. Activision-Blizzard appointed a new chief diversity, equity, inclusion officer who wants to increase the number of women and non-binary employees by 50%. Yes, this is a focus on something that is not about improving the quality of the game. This is not going to make the game better. It's not going to make the game worse. This is just simply something irrelevant. That's it. Yes, this is the kind of stuff that these companies focus on outside of actually making a good product. If you make a good product, people are going to buy it. It doesn't matter if you have it made by non-binary people, men, women, or a dog. It doesn't make a difference. If it's a good game, people are going to play a good game. That's all it comes down to. I think that a lot of people are tired of seeing this kind of stuff whenever the game obviously has problems. And so you see the company and they're like hiring people for like, like an inclusion officer or something like that. Meanwhile, the game is just getting ignored. Yeah, I think there's a lot of people that are frustrated about that. And it makes sense. Because I think for an average person, an average consumer, they see this and they're like, well, this is not solving my problem. You see what I'm saying? They're hiring devs too. Who cares? It's not tired. I hate it. I think there's a lot of people that don't want to see somebody hired based off of something that doesn't have to do with their actual qualifications. In my opinion, this is how I always do things. I give people, I will hire people. I will bring people onto my team based only, I do everything online basically. So there are a lot of cases, I don't even know if somebody's a guy or a girl at the beginning. I have no fucking idea. I just bring people on. Sometimes they're guys, sometimes they're girls, and I play with them, and they're part of the community, and that's it. And that's all I fucking do. And I don't worry about, like, making sure that there's a quota or diversity or anything like that. And the reason why I don't do that is that I know inside myself, I know that I'm always going to make... I know that I'm not a bad person. I know I don't hate women. I don't hate black people or any of this other, like, gay people or anything weird like that. So I just know that I'm going to make the right call for the right people because it's not something that I think about actively whenever I make decisions for people. That's it. And so I think that's a smart thing to do. And I think that you should always give people... you should try to give people... I mean, I don't know. Like, why am I even saying this? Like, give jobs to the people that are best qualified. Cali is making it mandatory. You have to reach some quotas for large companies. Well, I mean, they can... The thing is, if the companies don't like that, they can leave California. That's the thing, and that's what's happened a lot. I think that happened with like Tesla, right? It wasn't because of the quotas, but it was because of something else. You see, like Tesla's moving a lot of things over here to Texas, and that's the way it goes. That's a conservative chud stance nowadays, unfortunately. According to who? What, some moron on Twitter? Who cares? This is not like, everybody always worries about the opinion of like the most irrational person on Twitter. Who cares? I think what I'm saying is common sense, and like 95% of people agree with it. There's only a really, really outspoken 5% of people, and I bet even half of them don't really fucking agree with it. They just think it on an ideological level. That's all there is to it. Only 95? Yeah, 100%. Increase by 50% doesn't mean up to 50% or half the staff. Well, yeah, that's right. Yeah, of course. If they need to hire people based on gender, they aren't doing what they need to. They aren't doing what they do not want. Be all. I don't know what the fuck that means. Okay, let's go back and we're gonna look at the other stuff. But yeah, in general, just hire the people that are the best for the job. Make sure that the people you bring on are competent and they know what they're doing. And everything else is going to be totally fine. Cax, thank you very much for the 5 gift the community subs. I appreciate that. Yeah, thank you. Most qualified is a pay-to-win thing in so many circumstances. I think in some circumstances it is, but I think that's the same with anything. I think that a lot of people exercise like kind of group bias. It's not something that's exclusive to a white person or a black person or a woman or a man. I think that many people exhibit group bias regardless of what group they belong to. That's just what happens, and that's why you have to have multiple people in on the decision-making process to make sure that doesn't happen. You can't buy talent? Absolutely you can, but you have to pay them a lot of money. Let's see Naoki Yoshida's card. This is gold. Okay, let's see this. Asmon Logic reacting to WoW documentary. What's this? Playing 48 hours a week, playing 4 to 6 hours a day. Well, look, here's the thing. Is it like 4 to 6 hours a day? It's like 6 times 7. Okay, yeah, never mind. Yep, never mind. Okay, yeah, all right. So yeah, okay, yeah, that's is okay. All right, yeah. You okay. All right, you got me there. Hope Asmon plays this game soon. Neuronima, what's this?
You might have Flap and the rich lady under your spell, but it's gonna take more than that to impress me.
Okay. Look, guys, I will eventually play the game, okay? I don't know when exactly that's going to be, but yes, I will eventually play the game. I think it'll be a fun time. I don't know if I should start with the most recent one or not. Let me see here. Asmongold, any other long-time WoW players will have an emotional roller coaster over this WoW video. What is this? Do not spoil it for yourself. What the fuck? Question mark. Okay, yeah, I'll watch this for sure. That's good. Let me go back over and look at the other ones here. Imagine Henry watching the Super Mario video. Yeah, exactly. Super Mario 64 speedrunner, scientist with doctorate in physics. Yeah, but the truth is, it's actually the same exact person. Looks like someone familiar, to be honest. Okay. Okay, yep, that's great. Thank you guys. Really, yeah. Really appreciate that. That's great. Yeah, same hair. Yeah, his name's actually Baldy. No, it's not. It's like, no, that's part of his name. They just cut off the rest of it, okay? Like, yeah, sure. It's like scrolled. Okay, yeah, it's like Dribaldi or Gibraltar or something like that. Me for the next expansion, Hopium. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, as I said, I always have to tell people this because, no way they can fuck up 3 times in a row, right? There's no way this could happen, right, guys? It's impossible, okay? They've got to eventually get it right sometime, all right? Here's the way I feel about it, okay? Is that it's the same thing with, like, any game. Like, I always think that the first month, at least, for an MMO is going to be fun to play. It doesn't matter if it's like Black Desert, if it was Lost Ark, if it was anything. I think that in general, if you are a fan of MMOs, you will generally enjoy the first month of most games if you care about the social aspect. It's nice. And that's the way I'm going to play the new expansion. And if it sucks or it's annoying, we'll just go back to watching YouTube videos, and that's about it. Blizzard takes that as a challenge? Yeah, exactly. And Legion was fun to play the whole expansion. Legion sucked at the beginning in a lot of ways, but they made it better. I think Legion was really bad for a high-end player at the beginning, and then, but for like a casual player, I think Legion was fine at the beginning. Yeah, absolutely. It was totally fucking fine. So yeah, that's how I see it. And getting new gear every day hits different. Yeah, it's fucking fun, man. I don't really see why people try to shit on that. I think that every new expansion is going to be fun, especially if you don't really know a lot about it. Like, I would assume, like, going into an expansion like Endwalker would be really cool because you have no fucking idea what's going to happen. There isn't, like, a bunch of PTR data mining. There isn't, you know, a million videos telling you exactly which quests to do. You just go in and play the game. And I think that's fucking badass, man. I love it. People, casuals, fuck your Legion's most fun I had in WoW for many years. Yeah, exactly. And I think so too. Was it grand at start, but it didn't suck? It did suck for a high-end player. I actually think that, like, Legion was genuinely pretty bad for a high-end player at the beginning. Because, like, you had the legendary weapons, you had the artifact knowledge, and then you also had artifact power, hitting different breakpoints. It just wasn't really very fun. Don't give a fuck about them? I mean, listen, that's the thing, though, is, like, it's better to design a game that's fun for the majority of players rather than, like, the extremes. And I think that if you design a game trying to balance it around the extremes, I think what you get is what happens now with WoW, is that you have these raids that are over-designed in order to cater to, like, 1% players, and people in general just don't enjoy that as much. And they have to, like, nerf it a bunch of times. And you think to yourself, like, how much effort and how much time was put into fine-tuning this raid to where it's challenging for people that play the game professionally, and then think about the opportunity cost of that, right? You could have had the opportunity cost of all of these people that were working on, like, trying to fine-tune this raid to be hard for limit players, and they could have been working and developing better games, better content instead somewhere else. And I think that that's really what happens, is it's the opportunity cost. Like, yeah, it's cool to have stuff like that happen, but not everything exists at the expense of something else. So if you have something like that in the game, that means that you don't have something else in the game. I hope Dragon Isles doesn't have covenants. No, it won't. It'll have aspect flights. It's going to be completely different. And basically, each aspect flight, if you go, like, blue dragon flight, you'll have, like, a base ability for, like, the blue dragons, and then they'll probably teach you, like, a special ability just for your class. So, like, maybe blue dragons can, I don't know, like, use, like, a magic bolt or, like, an arcane beam or something like that. Like, maybe, like, the bronze dragon flight, you know, they'll give you, like, a time warp or a heroism to make you attack faster. Dude, that would be really cool. It'll be unchangeable. Yeah, it'll have aspect power, and you can level each one of those things up. Yeah, draconic conduits. Yeah, I mean, it just writes itself. It just makes perfect sense. Did you see the red shirt guy's tweet? No, I haven't seen that at all. I'm complaining about accessibility from add-ons? Yeah, I think so. I think add-ons... I think Blizzard should remove Blizzard should remove all functionality of all add-ons that exist inside of raids that are designed in order to give you better better awareness in the raid. Like any add-on that tries to make it easier for you to see things, any add-on that tells you timers for things, any of these things should be removed from the game. Because the fact is that they're designing the game around it. They obviously are. What do you think? They're not going to design a game around it? Of course they are. Let me see this real quick. There's a red shirt guy tweet. Let me go ahead and pull this up real quick. Add-ons have developed into a wheelchair. Well, they definitely are a crutch. I mean, for sure. Let me see this here. It's Final Fantasy Realm Reborn Dungeon Trials got major updates. Worth checking out. This is a 22-minute video.
No more side mechanics that you wouldn't know just walking into it.
Okay. I mean, like, yeah, of course they did this. Like, I saw this before. Yeah, that's just in the patch notes. That not that interesting, to be honest. I don't think so either. Asmongold Mcconnell in the Razor store queue. Look. This is not a real picture, number one. It's not... Like, this is a, it's not going to happen. Let's see this. They only need to add new mount achievements beyond 400. I have an idea what mount they can make for 450 mounts. What the fuck? I swear when I find out who you are, I'm going to do the entire stream dedicated to reading your... Oh my god. Bro, that's actually a scary mount. When I find out who... I'm doing an entire stream dedicated to reading your chat logs? Holy shit. God fucking damn. Okay, yeah, that is serious. Too much fair, much be fake. Yeah, sure. Okay, let me look back over here and sweaty Fortnite removes building. Look, bro, like, that's what it is. Yeah, we get the ass. That's right, little Timmy. Where's your 90s now, bitch? True, yeah, I love it, man. It's great. Yeah, welcome to the real world, Timmy. There ain't no fences here. Okay, try walling this off. Yeah, there you go. World of Warcraft is ignited. Listen, it's not... It's not the... I don't... This is true, right? But they're not going to just come out and make a press release that everything that they've been doing is bad. You know what I mean? Like, this is obviously not going to happen. As much as you think this is true, they're just not going to do this. Like, come on. I don't even think they should. No, why not? Because it's a bad idea. Like, it's a bad idea. Like, it's better to just say you don't need to constantly self-flagellate yourself and, you know, like, put yourself on display of being a failure. All you need to do, you know what? I don't want them to acknowledge that Shadowlands is bad at all. I don't want them to acknowledge that. I just want them to make the next expansion good. Say Shadowlands was great. Sure, absolutely. But don't fucking go and make the next one bad. That's it. They've displayed failure already. Exactly. Okay. Asmon's Vampire Survivors gameplay. Nice bitrate. Yeah, sure. You're cutting your DPS in half by standing next to a wall and losing the game. Half your garlic, axes, water, Bibles, etc. are not hitting the monsters, which lets them live longer, tighten up the scream, and penetrate your defenses by sheer number. Even more than standing in the middle, you have less space to run. You are making some awesome builds. Keep it going. Awesome to watch you playing. Don't tell him or he will win. Fuck him. I love his streams. All right. That's a good idea. Yeah, because no, he's right. That's a very good idea. I will do that. Thank you. This is how you win Vampire Survivors. All right, let me see this one real quick. Oh, that's such a good idea. Oh my god, that's such a good idea. So he's standing inside of this little square. He's standing inside of this little square, so the rune tracers keep bouncing and ricocheting off. And he has more uptime with the rune tracers. Oh my god. Let me skip ahead. I'm gonna skip ahead to the last... Alright, this is the last minute. So this part I actually almost died on. This is so good. Wait, guys, he's actually using garlic too. Yeah, see, this is just what I was saying. Everybody says garlic is bad. He's using garlic right now because it's so good. I should be, yeah, he's level 62. Yeah, he's actually really, really low level, I would say. Like, most of the time, whenever I get to the end, I'm way higher level than this. Who says it's bad? Literally everybody. Everybody is constantly telling me garlic is bad, you shouldn't be using garlic. Meanwhile, I use garlic, and it's fucking insane. I honestly think people just want to see me lose. That must be what it is. Like, he doesn't even have upgraded, he doesn't even have the upgraded cross. He doesn't have the upgraded, the upgraded lightning ring thing, the upgraded axes, or anything. These rune tracers are just fucking destroying everything. Oh my god. This is insane. Upgraded cross sucks? I didn't even know that. Garlic is literally god tier later on? Well, I knew that. Jesus Christ. Okay, I've gotta do that, man. I will. What's this here? Paris in 44 seconds. Okay, give me 1 second. Let me make sure I read the rest of this. I'm not sure what garlic god is, and at this point, I'm too afraid to ask. Okay, dude. Jesus, hair Asmon is better than bald head Asmon. I don't think I would look good bald. I've said this multiple times. I do not think so at all. I wanted to see right now. People ask me about Vampire Survivors. Let me see how it's doing. Oops. Vampire Survivors. Charts. Wow. Holy shit. So this is, I guess, whenever I played it. Oh my god. Wait, there's more people playing it now. Wait, holy shit. Oh, bro, like, it was going down, like, what? Oh my god, us playing the game actually helped it out. Like, god damn, look at this. Patch came out? Yeah, I know, new patch. I think that it's much more, let's be honest, guys, okay? Like, I love stroking my own ego. But let's be honest, it's probably because of the new patch. And we're going to look at that later on today. Yeah, good game. Yeah, it's just a good game. That's it. I think people just want a good game. They don't want a bunch of bullshit. They don't want a bunch of complications. They don't want any of that. They just want a good game, and that's literally it. Movie theater worker describes bony... Oh my god. Brony movie patrons? Okay, here we go.
Welcome back to the worst movie theater customers. If you like what you see, check the playlist below. Let's begin. Bad bronies.
Oh,
so when My
shit.
Little Pony the movie was released at our theater, we were fully aware of the kind of crowd that we were to be expecting. Children and grown men, known as bronies.
Yes.
And sure enough, that's exactly the kind of audience that we got. A lot of the
What a
staff
surprise.
raised concerns about a bunch of grown men coming to see this movie surrounded by a bunch of children. We never wound up having many issues on this until one day. Myself
What?
and a coworker were at the box office when this woman comes up with her young daughter and asks if she can swap seats. It was a sold-out show, and I was like, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to. We're
Yeah.
able to swap you into another day, another time, anything
Right.
like that. She explained that due to a lot of personal stuff in her life, this was the only show that she could make it to with her daughter to see this movie, and her daughter really wanted to see it.
Okay.
In doing our jobs, we asked her why she wanted to swap to
Yeah,
begin
what,
with, and she went on to explain that she was concerned about a guy sitting next to her daughter. What
Why?
she described was that her and her daughter were sitting there looking at the screen, the previews were going.
Yeah.
And she looked over at her daughter and then looked up and saw that the guy sitting next to her daughter was not looking at the screen, but had his neck turned and was looking down directly at her daughter.
That's
she rightfully
weird.
called him out and said, "Look at the screen, sir," and he did. And so she went back to just kind of keeping an eye on her daughter.
This
making
is
sure
weird.
nothing was
Oh my
going on,
God.
And she looked back over, and the guy was staring at her daughter again. And this time he saw her looking.
What the
and
fuck?
turned back to the screen. And she said the reason why she didn't just swap seats with her daughter
Yeah.
so that she wasn't sitting next to this creepy guy was because there
She
was
didn't
another
wanna sit next to him
guy sitting by himself right next to them, and
Oh.
she was just very concerned for their well-being. I immediately called a manager. Manager came
Oh
up and
my
heard her
God.
out and decided, we're going to go back to the theater, go ahead and go sit down the way that you were, and
Yeah.
we'll keep an eye on things, and if anything happens, I will take action.
That's
with them
smart.
after."
That's
So that's what my
that's
manager
smart.
did. He went back with them. Apparently,
That's actually-
he
that's-
stayed
yeah,
in the theater for
that's
a
smart.
considerable amount of time. 20 minutes later, I saw my manager escorting some guy wearing a brony shirt out of the building. What he said he saw was as soon as they sat down, he kind of hugged the corner a little bit so the audience couldn't see. Whenever he peeked his head back around, he saw the guy next to them was just staring daggers at the little girl again, and he immediately jumped into action. As an apology for
What
what they
the
went through
fuck?
after their movie was done, my manager comped their meal, gave them free passes to come back, as well as
Bro,
free
that's-
popcorn vouchers. Props to my manager, great man. That sicko he kicked out is the exact reason why fandoms like bronies get a bad rap.
Exactly.
Don't be like him.
Just at the very end, hey, by the way, don't do this. I love how he just adds that in at the very end. Like, that's the kind of stuff, man, I'm gonna be real. That was uncomfortable to watch. Like, I had a hard time watching that. Like, I wanted to turn it off. Like, if I was watching this not on stream, as soon as I heard the first thing, I would have immediately clicked off. It's like, I don't need this in my head. I don't need this in my life. This is fucking weird. It's uncomfortable to think about. Yeah, I did. I watched the whole thing, right? Brony's a mental illness. No. Well, this is the fact, right? And this is the way that a lot of communities are. And it's just the, bronies are perceived this way because of the nature of what they do. They are consumers of a children's show, and they are usually older single men. And that draws a lot of attention. It just simply does. And the unfortunate thing is, there are a lot of guys, this is what my opinion is. New Belliorth expansion leaks, yeah, we'll probably watch that today too. Just remind me about that later. A lot of bronies, I think that the magic of My Little Pony for a lot of bronies is the fact that It is a TV show where nothing really bad ever happens, and it is a way for them to recapture what they believe to be some form of lost innocence as they have grown older. And I think that's why they trend towards My Little Pony, is because it feels like going back to being a little kid. I think that's what it is. Weird? Yes, it is weird, but nobody's getting hurt. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't care if somebody is doing something weird as long as nobody else is a victim of this weirdness, right? It's actually kind of sad. Yeah, I think that it's kind of sad. It's a disorder? No, I don't think liking a TV show is fundamentally a disorder. I think that's too much.